Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. It's been quite some time since I recorded, but I've been trying to bulk record since, for those that don't follow me on Twitter, I posted a huge little tweet thing. I'll probably pop the picture right here, and if I don't, I'm sorry. Sorry, editing me didn't do that part. But I'm gonna be quite busy during the seasonal time, October through December, because I'm working at a new job now, and I got promoted for a seasonal supervisor position. So it's gonna be a full-time job. It's gonna be really hard to balance the job as well as like YouTube, as well as like just shopping and everything for the holiday season. So I'm very sorry if there's a lack of content on my channel for some time. I've been trying to force myself to not come home and quickly go lay in bed. So that's what I've been doing lately during work. Once I get off work, I go straight to the bed and turn on some Netflix. And I need to chill with that because I need to start recording and be more productive, because this is the only time I'll ever have the chance to do it. Since the days I'm off, I'm usually keeping it off. I don't even touch YouTube during my days off. I would usually just maybe hang out with some coworkers, or I'm again laying in bed watching Netflix or YouTube, trying to just de-stress. So if there is a time on my channel where it's completely empty, I'm very sorry. I've been really busy with the new job and position. I don't want to like screw it up and not give like 110%, because I don't want them to be upset that they had high hopes for me and I'm not pulling my part. But anyway, if you also hear lots of clickety clicking, Tyler actually got me a new keyboard and mouse, and it's very beautiful. I love it. It's the Razer mouse and keyboard, the white chrome one, and it's so pretty, and it clicks a whole lot, and it makes cute little like clickety noises, which I really love. But it's also not good sometimes for recording wise. But anyway, let's just get right to it. It's been a while since I last did a show, but I want to make sure my puppets and materials are ready to go once this is all over. I'm sure the children are looking forward to seeing your shows again. Yeah. Aren't they gonna be confused that Waltz just magically turned into a man? Silence ensues as Waltz sits down beside me with one of his puppets. He begins to slowly sew up one of the seams. Sorry. The silence is deafening. Let's cover Fritz's path. Say something? I am worried about what may happen tomorrow. You think too much, Michiko. I do. I stare at the puppets on his table. When this is over, will you finally let me be your assistant? Aw? Waltz smiles and pats my head. Yes, when this is all over, I'll give you the spotlight. Yay! I'm sure the children will love your puppet shows. Talking about what happens afterwards makes me feel normal. It gives me some hope. Hope that eventually everything will go back to normal. I feel better now. Thank you, Waltz. Oh? I'm not sure I even did anything. You have just by being here with me. You know, I'd do anything for you, little star. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Little star. There's that nickname again. Does it bother you? No, I was just wondering where it came from. Alright, I never told you the story, did I? Back when I was still your mother's apprentice, my life was dull and empty. Then you showed up. Your circumstances were the same as mine, but your light never faded. You became my hope in that dark place, my light. That is why I consider you my little star. I can only stare at Waltz. I think that's at Waltz. Wait, no, wrong. I can only stare as Waltz smiles at me. Right now, all I want is to stay by his side, stay within the comforts of his warmth. I look at him and a thought shifts into my head, tinting my cheeks pink. What is it? Can I stay with you tonight? Oh, I'm so bold. What? Well, Waltz's face is it's tomato red. He looks shocked. I can't? It's not that I don't want you to, but I mean, he glances away and begins mumbling to himself. I suddenly feel dejected. Don't make that face, little star. Waltz sighs. Okay, you can stay. Really? Yeah. Oh my god, he's so precious! Aw, I would totally feel safe. Oh, my hair is down. We will both lay side by side in the bed, shifting only slightly. Waltz is especially stiff. I wonder why. I loop my arms around his waist and snuggle into the crook of his neck. Waltz tenses beneath me. I feel like I'm being punished. What? Nothing. Thank you for letting me stay. My room felt colder than normal tonight. I couldn't help thinking about tomorrow and then about father, and my words trail off as I try to focus on Waltz's warmth. Please not leave me as well, Waltz. Michiko, look at me. I move back to look up at him. Waltz stares at me with an intensity that makes it difficult to look away. His features are illuminated by the soft moonlight, making them stand out all the more. My heart skips a beat. I'm not going anywhere, Michiko. I'll always be here wherever you are. I promise to always protect you. I reach out to touch his cheek. Thank you. What if they made the main character die? He smiles at me before putting his arm around my waist and pulling me closer. I snuggle against his chest, taking in his warmth. Main character is in Waltz. Like, is there a visual novel that did that before? Where, like, you get the great ending, but your significant other dies? Is that a thing? Because that happens in movies all the time and it punishes me, and I hate it. I eventually fall asleep in his arms. Today is the day. Everyone has been busy preparing for the speech. I was told to relax, and I have used the opportunity to move into the forest and get some fresh air. If only everywhere was as peaceful as this. Michiko? I turn around to see Ophelia slowly walking toward me, a hesitant smile on her face. Ophelia. I'm sorry that I cannot be much of help during these distressing times. You have already helped me enough, Ophelia. You supported father when I did not. You have to stay safe, you and the others. You've truly changed. Ophelia takes my hand in hers and looks at me solemnly. Promise me you'll come back to us. I'll be praying that nothing happens today, but if it does, I beseech you to put your safety first. Ophelia, I thought she was going to say she loves me. I may not be your real mother, but you have always been my daughter. Oh, that's even better than I love you. Guilt floods through me. I have been cruel to her ever since she first came into our lives, and yet she still treats me so warmly. I do not deserve your kindness after all I have done to you, Emmy and Rod. I am so sorry. Ophelia pulls me into a hug and smooths down my hair. That's all in the past now, dear. What matters now is the present. I nod and close my eyes. I missed out on so many things when I closed my heart up to everyone. I had always thought I was alone, but I was wrong. Thank you, Ophelia. Sir Avocaster's speech starts in an hour, and everyone is making last-minute preparations before we go into town. Ophelia, Emmy, and Anise will stay behind as Rod and Rumple volunteer to watch over them. Delore and Parfait left yesterday to attend a meeting with the fairies. Apparently they found someone who holds important information about Mother and her plans. Emmy approaches me, her eyebrows creased. Michiko, should you see your mother there? What will you do? I haven't really thought about it yet. We are bound to face her sometime soon. I know that she is your mother, princess, but are you emotionally ready to face her? Obviously not, because we gotta kill our own mother. I am taken aback by her question. Jurian! I apologize for being blunt, but we all have to consider the worst possible scenario, don't we? I need to know that the princess is ready to face her. In a battlefield, one must not hesitate, or else you'll die. Jurian continues to look at me, waiting for my answer. I finally face her with determination. I will face her, and I will stop her. Because I'm total baddie here. Chapter 9, The Queen. One more chapter left, guys. I stand in the alleyway with Waltz, Jurian, and Karma, making sure to stay hidden in shadow as we watch the sea of people moving toward the plaza. Garland is scouting around the plaza for knights' positions, and we have been waiting here for him. There are so many people. Oh, I look like a penguin. Okay, this is where we split up. Remember that we're trying to avoid needless battle. If anything should happen, fleeing is the better option. I'm not a fool. I will not pick a fight that would put anyone in needless danger. I'm glad you understand. Remember, we're only here to watch and listen. I don't want us to get into a skirmish if we can't avoid it. So should anything go wrong, we need you to retreat, princess. But I don't want to leave you all behind. Michiko, this isn't a time to be stubborn. It is not about stubbornness. It is just that all I have ever done is run. I refuse to keep fleeing. I have people to protect and I will not let them down. Running away isn't always cowardice. Cowardice? That may be, but sometimes there are situations that you need to face head on. This is one of those situations. Please understand, Waltz. I just don't want you to get hurt, Michiko. I know. I look at Waltz feeling at a loss. No matter what I say, he will always insist on my safety first. Garland suddenly appears with a stiff frown. I was gonna be like, wait, why is Garland and Jurian alive, but we're in Waltz's route? Look who I found. Oh, it's Fritz. I turn to look at Garland, then notice the man beside him. My eyes widen at the sight of him. Fritz? Garland pushes him and Fritz stumbles forward. He falls to his knees only a few inches away from me. You're okay. Thank goodness, you're alright, princess. I twitch at the sight of his face. There is no sign of the wicked smile that was on his face when he was under the guise of Varg. Though he looks confused, the relief in his eyes seems genuine. Are you truly Fritz? Or are you Varg? Or both? I'm the Fritz you've always known, princess, your loyal knight. I raise an eyebrow. I can still remember what happened weeks ago when the mask fell from his face in the room with the tenebrarium. In that moment, I saw Fritz's face, no matter what Varg said. Varg was in league with Alcaster and Mithras. The man I saw back then was definitely Fritz, even if he never confirmed it. What are you doing here? Fritz flinches. I've been searching for you. Why? So you can take me back to Mithras? Or are you here to kill me? Fritz bows low, his clenched hands trembling at his sides. I will not surrender you to Sir Mithras. My loyalty has always been to the kingdom and to you. I could never hurt you, princess. But I don't blame you for doubting me, my father. I would have stopped him if I knew. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Fritz glances up at me slowly, his expression resolute. I had just escaped yesterday when I was captured by knights. I managed to escape from them today, but only barely. I was supposed to meet the Lucis barrier yesterday. Fritz glares, not at me, but through me, as if remembering something unpleasant. That was when I was able to take control of my body again, just a few days ago. I've been searching for you, but instead found some witches who seemed to be in league with the Lucis barrier. I requested an audience with her as soon as possible because I wasn't sure how long I could keep Varg at bay. At bay? Fritz, explain. About Varg? No, about this audience. Princess, this could be some elaborate ruse of his. I have a responsibility to at least hear him out. What do you want from Parfait? I have important information about Hildire. Mother? Lady Parfait did say that her and Delora were going to meet with someone who had information on Hildire, and you believe that their meeting was with this man. Karma turns to Fritz, clearly skeptical. That seems like it could be a coincidence. How are we to believe you? Fritz is silent for a few moments. After some time he speaks again more hesitantly. I know that apologizing won't change the fact that I've betrayed the princess and the kingdom. But right now I am doing my best to right my wrongs while I still have control over my body. The knights are still searching for me as we speak, so I'll make this as brief as I can. Hildire is growing weaker. What? I haven't been myself for the past few weeks, but I still have portions of Varg's memories. I remember that she is bedridden, still being treated for wounds that she sustained during the Great War. Then she is now sick like Parfait, only Mother seems to have it worse than her. I overheard Mithras say that the crystal no longer recognizes her as its sole barrier. Parfait says something similar, but she said she could no longer feel Mother's connection with the tenebrarium, but what Fritz just said. It seems that the crystal has seen both of you as barriers. It's stretching its energy to both of you. This might be why Hildire hasn't regained her full powers and has remained weak. Waltz stares at Fritz, eyes wide. The crystal having two barriers? I didn't think such a thing was possible. Is this why Hildire still refuses to show herself in public? Yes, the witches who used to be on her side doubt her capability to rule. None of them want to help her when she is still so weak. Mithras figures that the only way to get the crystal to fully accept Hildire is to train the rest of your powers. That is why the palace has issued a higher bounty on your head. But Father is no longer interested in actively hunting for you. There's been a rift between him and Mithras because of this. Waltz crosses his arms, his expression thoughtful. I'm sure Hildire hasn't disposed of the outcaster yet. And if he is still alive, it means that he must still play an important role in our plans. Fritz's expression quickly morphs into something grim as he frowns down at the ground. You're right. Waltz and I exchange a look before we turn back to Fritz. Mithras plans to kill my father today. Oh, okay. That's great, you know? Fritz's eyes are distant, his mouth pulled into a tight grimace. All I can do is stare at him, uncertain of what he has just told me. Hildire will show herself to the public today. She and Mithras plan to kill father in front of an audience and hope that their fear and despair will fuel the Tenebrarium. They think feeling the Tenebrarium might make Hildire stronger. They plan to use the fear of the public to achieve their own needs. This is not good. With this many people here, the Tenebrarium might indeed see that surge of power again. Even a weakened Hildire will be difficult to fight, but we stand more of a chance against her now than we do if she fuels the Tenebrarium with negativity. Please save the kingdom, princess. Fritz looks at me imploringly. I shake my head slowly. I am confused. You betrayed us, but then you're still helping us as well. Which side are you on? The only reason why I'm working for them in the first place is because of my curse. I swear it. Fritz tries to stand up, but his knees wobble and suddenly he is down on the ground again, his hand clutching at his chest. Fritz? No, not yet. Fritz looks at me, his pale face covered in sweat. I have no idea how long I can suffocate Varg, so please, bind me, freeze me, do whatever you can to keep me from chasing after you. I don't want to hurt anyone anymore. Fritz keels over, his forehead touching the ground. Please. Waltz. I know. Wait. I know what? Waltz snaps his fingers and a rope of light appears around Fritz's wrist, pulling him down to the ground. I furrow my eyebrows at Fritz even as he cocks his head to look at me. Thank you. You don't have much time left. I plan to deliver my message to the Lucis barrier, but I leave it in your capable hands instead. Fritz, I'm sorry. I'll do anything to protect my charge. Now go. Drury nods at me. Don't worry, Garland and I will keep an eye on him. Garland quickly informs us of the knights' positions around the plaza and gives us clues of where we might hide to avoid their prying eyes. After he has finished his briefing, Waltz, Karma, and I hurry off. Father, please watch over us today. Oh, Father, there are so many people here. They have no idea that this seemingly harmless speech will be the start of their nightmares. I've been fiddling with my fingers since we got here, my nerves slowly taking over me. There are so many knights. I pull down the hood of my cloak to make sure that my face is concealed from them. Waltz suddenly reaches out to take my hand. He raises it to his lips. Oh, you're so sweet. So sweet. Waltz looks at me with a gentle smile. Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you. I'm not worried about myself. I'm more worried about the people's safety, as well as our friends. I will not forgive myself if something bad happens to them. You're not the only one responsible for protecting everyone here. Remember that. I will always share your burden, Michiko. I got 3 choices up in here. Stay quiet. You don't want my help? I nod. I have already cursed you enough trouble once. I've never considered you a burden, Michiko. Waltz wraps his arm around my waist and draws me closer to him. Waltz? Waltz takes my hand and plants a kiss on my fingers. You worry too much, princess. How I wish I could share your optimism and his casualness. How does he manage to act like this in front of so many people and at so dire a time? King is here. I don't think it chose right. I didn't know what to say, honestly. This burden is mine to carry, I guess. I don't want to burden anyone anymore. I've told you already, you are never a burden to me, Michiko. Your pain is mine as well. Ooh. Or maybe I have to wait? Maybe it's one of those choices I have to wait, or I know? I look up at him and smile. Thank you. Hey, that was not what? That was not a thank you option. That was like, I know. Rude. Rude game, rude. I told you so many times I would do anything for you, Michiko. I feel the same way. Okay. A woman announces the king's presence, and Waltz and I immediately turn our attention to the stage. He takes a step away from me, arms at his side, expression suddenly stoic. Alcaster walks to the center of the platform with a triumphant smile. Good day, my loyal subjects. Everyone goes silent at the sound of his voice. I know that much has happened in our kingdom since the late King Gennaro passed away. We are still exerting our efforts to find the king's murderer, his very own daughter. Rest assured that the justice shall find this criminal, even if she is our princess. Anyone who is able to surrender her to the palace will be rewarded handsomely. Members of the crowd begin to chatter amongst each other. It hurts that people believe him, but I cannot say I blame them. As your king, I will do everything in my power to make sure that the kingdom flourishes under my rule. My, what a sight. Even after all these years, you humans never change. That voice! I frantically look around for her, but though her voice echoes around us, she is nowhere to be seen. Where is she hiding? The crowd grows restless at the sound of her voice. Many try to search for her with their eyes. You lot are nothing but manipulative, lying rodents, and yet you call us witches the wicked ones. Mother? A bright light fades into existence right beside Alcaster. A silhouette emerges from the light, and suddenly I can see her in all of her wicked glory. My mother, the witch who killed my father. Mithras stands behind her. She is here. Her sudden appearance causes the already restless crowd to break into a panic. Silence! Okay, Mom. One word from her, and the crowd falls into silence. Then a single person dares to move, their eyes now glued to the witch in front of them. Alcaster acts more quickly than I expected, drawing his sword from its sheath and pointing at her neck. You! What are you doing here? You should be thankful that I let you play king for so long, but I am afraid playtime is over. That crown belongs to me. Mother faces the crowd with a smile and spreads her arms in a gesture of grandness. Angela, your queen is back. Mother is even paler than when I last saw her, making the dark circles stand out even more beneath her eyes. She looks worse than Parfait. I won't let you steal my own crown, witch. Oh, but I was not the one who stole it in the first place. Alcaster grits his teeth and charges toward Mother. Mithras deftly steps in front of her and casts a shield. Alcaster slams his sword into an invisible wall. Then with a wave of Mithras' hand, Alcaster is suddenly thrown back. Once again the crowd becomes restless. I tolerated you for far too long, human. But right now you are inconsequential. Sparkling icicle darts appear in midair as Mother raises her hand. They point outward, casting themselves in the direction of the townspeople. She used this spell before, but now there are even more of them. She looks weak, yet she can still manage this much. She can easily destroy this part of town with that spell. I stare at Waltz, eyes wide, then lower my voice into a panicked whisper. I thought she was planning to kill Alcaster. Seems like the plans have changed. Farewell, my disloyal subjects. I cannot let her do this. Machika, wait, where am I going? I ignore Waltz and quickly run to the center of the crowd, knowing this will be the most effective place to set up a barrier. A strong gust of wind causes my hood to come off. Ooh. Total baddie over here. So many thumbnail options here. I stretch out my arms as I concentrate on casting a shield around the entirety of the crowd. Isn't that the princess? Witch! I do my best to shut out everyone's voices as I push all my energy toward the palms of my hand, imagining an impenetrable glass arching in front of us. As soon as I have cast a massive shield, the icicles shatter upon impact, falling away. I wince at the impact, but force myself to stand steady even when I am pushed back. I will not let you hurt anyone anymore, Mother. The crowd begins to murmur all around us. Ah, so you finally showed up, little one. It's good to see you again, my dear daughter. I knew I'd see some sort of reaction if I opened my speech like this. It's a trap. She did this to draw me out. Now be a good girl and hand over what is rightfully mine. You won't get away with this, witch. Alcaster is once again back on his feet, his sword poised and ready to strike. You cannot defeat Mother with a mere sword. Mother looks at Alcaster. A wide grin slowly parts her lips. But I already have. She kills him here. Mother flicks her hand and silver light begins to gather in her palm. I recognize that spell! As much as I hate Alcaster for what he has done to this kingdom, I cannot just stand idly by as she summons a spell to kill him. I push myself forward, rushing toward Alcaster. Alcaster, run! Because you're gonna die. You know, I want you to die, but, you know, whatever. But I'm too late. A second later, a sword of light appears and impales Alcaster right through his chest. Oh, he dies either way. Okay. This time the crowd finally begins to disperse. People begin to push past each other, screaming and crying. Most of them are almost at the edge of the plaza before Mother casts another spell, creating a barrier to block everyone inside. A strange wave of energy pulsates through my body, making me stumble. That's right. Feed me your fear. The people's negative energy is feeling in the tenebrarium. My eyes shift toward Mother, whose grin is deranged, inhumanly wide. A shiver runs down my spine. Mother, stop this madness! Oh, Waltz! I love you so much. At my moment of hesitation, Waltz rushes forward to cast a spell. Purple spikes run through Mother, but she does nothing to stop them. Mithras effortlessly stands in front of her, casting a shield. The force of Waltz's spell sends him stumbling backwards. I hear his shield crack. Mithras tries to keep it up, but ends up succumbing to the force of Waltz's spell. Eventually, the glass shatters and the spikes force their way through. One of them impales Mithras to the chest. Oh! Ooh, are we gonna say bye to Mithras here too? Holy crap! Mother glances at Waltz, her lips pulled into a pleased smile. Impressive. You can still use your magic. Even after having been separated from it for so long, I expected no less from my superior apprentice. Wow. Mother turns to Mithras and raises her eyebrows slowly. You're still a disappointment, Myth. My queen. These are the last words he can manage before he stops speaking, and he dies just like that. Father! Oh, Fritz! Oh, no! Fritz's voice echoes through the suddenly silent plaza. He rushes towards Alcaster, who has managed to walk a good distance away from Mother before he collapses to the ground. Soon, Fritz is kneeling right beside him, and Alcaster's bloody body. Jurian and the Garland are right behind him. Oh, I'm trying to continue speaking as a yawn was trying to creep up. I'm about to walk over to them, but Karma holds my arm and pulls me back. Don't. But you do not want to set your eyes on such a grisly sight up close, Princess. Mother watches Fritz and the two knights approach with disinterest. This is his fate for trying to steal what is rightfully mine. Alcaster brings his hand to his mouth and coughs so I can see blood on his hands. Father's last moments flash through my head, but I will the memory away as Mother turns her gaze on me. Mother surveys me with a warm smile. She holds out her hand and beckons me over. Join me, Michiko. We were meant to rule this kingdom hand in hand from the start. These humans do not deserve your protection. They deserve to suffer after everything they've done to our kind. I shake my head. I'd rather die than join you. What? Ungrateful brat. This is how you repay everything I've done for you. You have done nothing for me. Very well. If you wish for death, I shall give it to you. Once I'm done with you, I will destroy this kingdom and start anew. It will be a kingdom for the witches and I. I will not let you do that. Mother is taken by surprise when another purple spike suddenly pushes through the ground toward her. She steps back, avoiding the brunt of the attack, but her arm is still grazed. Blood oozes from a newly opened gash. Waltz! You'll have to get through me first. You can't stop me, traitor. Traitor? Mother extends her hand, and in mere moments, lightning has suddenly appeared and is winding its way up Waltz's body. Wait, what? What's going on? Do I attack her? Attack her! She's weak now, right? I act on impulse. I know that the spell I have been taught will not even graze her, but I do not consider that consequence as I raise my hand to cast a spell. Power slowly begins to trickle through my veins and into my palm as I approach the platform. Let him go! Chico, don't! Wait, don't attack! I already attacked! Too late. My heart is in my throat as I draw closer to where they are. Let him go. I will do anything. Just let him go. Anything? Mother's voice is terrible and sweet, her tone filled with poison. I cannot bring myself to look at her. Instead, I keep my eyes firmly focused on Waltz. When Waltz speaks my name, it is in the soft voice that I have come to love so dearly. Chico, if you wish so much to save him, then you must return what you have taken from me, the Crystalline Tenebrarium, and then you will become my sweet, obedient daughter once more. Only then I will let Waltz go. Waltz's eyes begin to dim, and I can see the hope draining out of him. I'm sorry, Waltz, but I cannot lose you too. You know where to find me, Michiko. The longer you keep me waiting, the longer he suffers. There's a blinding flash of light, and then Mother and Waltz are both gone. Wait, I didn't sign up for that! Yeah, no, what? A dull ache begins to spread through my chest. Again. I wasn't able to do anything again. Why am I so weak? Suddenly I feel Jurian's hand on my shoulder. I turn to look at her. She stares at me solemnly for a few moments before her expression breaks and she shakes her head. Don't blame yourself for this. There is nothing you could have done. I have to save him. I do have to save him, and I don't think I chose right. So... okay. Wait. Wait, here. Okay. Those slots are confusing me because they're Fritz's. But alright, this is where we're gonna stop for today. That was insane. I don't know if I chose right, but next episode we're gonna see if I chose right or wrong, because I'm gonna replay it back to that other selection and see where that takes us. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.